you want to find books from Linda Mahabua, and if you want to find talks that were given here or somewhere else.
So what are you still doing here? Not going home, going back to your life being lived by somebody. Kilesa is waiting for the opportunity. All these things that you can do now. So, did you get your picture? Huh? Make a big poster, 1 meter 80. So much to go. So you want to live your life controlled by somebody else? Or you want to start having control over your life? That's the question. I mean, you know Shakespeare, to be or not to be, that is here the question. To be controlled or not controlled, that is here the question. So, when normally, normal people, are being controlled by the kilesas or controlled by avijja, gives them multiple choices. You have multiple choices, but you have no freedom. You can choose between the choices of your karma. That's up to you. And that's why you think you have freedom, but you don't have the freedom to do anything that you want. You have only a multiple choice test. Each moment you have choices to do this, to eat or not to eat, to go or not to go. Not really many choices. Meditation, or the path that the Lord Buddha described us, is controlling the mind to do what we want it to do at every moment of time. Listen very well. It's not being controlled by the citta. It is controlling, learning how to control the citta, to do what we want to do. That is very, very important. If the citta sometimes, just like I said yesterday, I mean, we meditate, we can't concentrate very well. Okay, so we give up, and then we do it another time. Then we might be able to concentrate, then we do meditation. Next time we can't concentrate, then we don't do meditation. That is not meditation. Meditation is, if I want to sit in samadhi and get calm, then I sit as long until I get calm. That is controlling the mind, or it is controlling the citta. Is that understood? If I want to do investigation now, then I have to do it until investigation starts. And then I sit, and then I sit for 2 hours, 3 hours, 6 hours, until that image appears. Or I can dissect the body, or I can do this or that, whatever I put into my mind in the beginning. Now I want to get calm, then I sit as long until I get calm. That means controlling the citta. Otherwise, you are controlled by the citta. It comes, sometimes it doesn't come. That's not meditation. That's playing around, being played by the kilesas. You understand that now, So this is something really important that you have to understand. We have to learn to control the chitta, yeah? And that won't be easy. Yeah? You have to go against great enemies. Yeah? Or like Lungta Mahabodhi said, you have to go into the champion ring, yeah, together, or in the boxing ring together with a champion, yeah, and you are nobody, yeah. So you go in there, you get kicked out. The moment you gain consciousness again, you go in again, yeah, until you learn how to box, yeah. You don't know how to box in the first place, yeah. But if you give up and say, "Oh, that's a champion, I can't do anything against it," then you lose out, yeah. The thing is, to go always the moment we have consciousness, we go back in, yeah? And then we fight, yeah? Until we see how he fights, yeah? Once we understand, if we can stay long enough in the ring, when we see and understand how he fights, then we can duck, yeah? That's the first thing that we learn. So we duck its blows, yeah? And then we can stay longer, yeah? And then sooner or later we can attack him. Then he is knocked out. And then only then we really see what is freedom. When our enemy is knocked out, our oppressor is knocked out, then we know what is freedom. When we kicked him out of the ring. Well, it doesn't take long for him to come back, but until we finally kick him out, and then there's no more oppressor. People fight for the freedom, but even if it costs their lives, But if they sit in meditation, they want to happen everything on its own, yeah. That's not the way it works. Yeah? You really have to fight, and there's no harder work in this world than fighting the kilesas or fighting your oppressor. Yeah? But you won't lose your life, and you won't lose your legs and your arms, yeah. Or get torn up by grenades, you will only lose the kilesas, and that's our purpose. We will lose the master, yeah? We will get rid of the master, avijja. Yeah? So we have to learn, yeah? Remember that, and I repeat it. Yeah? Remember that we have to control the chitta. Yeah? So, once again, yeah? When we sit in meditation and want to do samatha, means calm meditation, and want to get calm, want the thoughts to be stopped, then we sit until the thoughts stop. And we don't give up before. Yeah? If you want to do investigation of the body, then we sit until the images appear. Yeah? Or at least the time, that we set ourselves. Yeah? 2 hours, 3 hours. Yeah? But in the end, we have to do it until, it really appears. Yeah? You read it in the Lungta books, yeah? He was sitting, he was wanting to reach Appana Samadhi, and sometimes, he had to sit for 11 hours, yeah? Straight on, without moving, before it came. Sometimes it happened after half an hour. Sometimes it happened after 3 hours. But he wasn't giving up, yeah? And that's how you learn how to control your chitta. Yeah? Unless you don't do that, the chitta controls you. And within the chitta, there are the kilesas and avijja. Yeah? And they control you all the time. Yeah? They live your life, yeah? And you have to pay the bills. Yeah? They don't pay the bills, they don't go to hell, but they send you to hell. And they just wait until you come back. Yeah? That's their whole purpose, yeah? You go to hell, you feel the hell, yeah? And they only send you to hell. Yeah? It's like a good friend, who advises, to murder another person, He doesn't go to prison, but you. You just follow his advice, yeah? That's a kilesas, yeah? And they reign us all our life long. Yeah? So, just to make that clear, what meditation is about. There are 2 ways of meditation. That is samatha, getting the mind calm, yeah? Getting rid of the oppressor for a while, that is upachara samadhi, yeah? They're waiting in the background. They have no ability to enter upachara samadhi when there is no thoughts, when there is no memories, yeah? Then when we see, okay, we get a rest, get a peace of mind. Yeah? Or when we go into Appana Samadhi, then they are really gone for that time being. Yeah? When we come out, they come back. They just wait. Yeah? The good thing is they don't have any power over these states of mind. Yeah? That is important for us to know. And Upachara Samadhi is probably, if we put our mind on it, relatively easy to reach. Yeah? Just stop your thoughts. Yeah? Well, you have to put some effort in the beginning, until they stop. Yeah? And we do that, by replacing each thought with our attention on the breath at the tip of the nose. Yeah? We have to focus on one point. Yeah? Or the word Buddha. Yeah? If we think a lot, we use the mental repetition of Buddha, Buddha, Buddha. While we think Buddha, we cannot think anything else. Yeah? But you have to keep your interest on the Buddha, or you have to keep your interest on the breath. Yeah? Otherwise, the thoughts will still occur in the background, and that is not calm. You think, it is calm, but you're not really calm. Yeah? That's not yet Upachara Samadhi. When you come out of Upachara Samadhi, or it's also sometimes called Access Samadhi, then the mind is completely refreshed, recharged. You recharge your batteries. Yeah? You feel concentrated, and you feel energized. Yeah? That's always the same thing when you come out of Upachara Samadhi. Yeah? If you're tired, then you never touch Upachara Samadhi. Yeah? You might have looked through the glass, in the safe house. Yeah? That is a nice house. It looks so empty. Yeah? But you just looked into it. Yeah? You've never gone, opened the door and went into it. Some people, open up the door and say, that's nice and cool, and they close the door in front of their nose. Yeah? And then open it again, and then afterwards, it was a nice meditation, but they have no calm, they have no concentration, and they don't feel energized or refreshed. Yeah? That very often happens. Yeah? So go in, close the door behind you, rest out, rest for the while you can. Yeah? And when you come out, you feel energized, and refreshed. And also you will know that there is some sort of happiness, that is beyond all the things that we can get in the world, if you do that more often. All the happiness arises in the heart, and when we are in touch with the heart, that's where the happiness or stillness or peacefulness is. That's the thing that you have to know. If you go into Appana Samadhi, it's a completely different story. Everything disappears. If you come close to it, the body disappears. It starts to disappear until there is only, most of the time, is only the heart area left, until that also disappears. And then sight, sound, everything is gone. It is as if we would not exist. But there is something left, and then you have to look what is left. All what you can say about this, one moment you go in, the next moment you dive out, and time and space wasn't there. All what you can say is there was knowingness, but not knowing of object. As long as you know objects, we are not in. When you come out, I can guarantee you one thing, the first thought is, how do I get back? You don't want to go back into the world war of the senses. Yeah? Do you like war? Yeah? Where all the people, where all these senses, bombard you, throw stones at you. Yeah? If you know something else, you don't want. Yeah? You really don't want. Yeah? And when you come out, you really feel recharged. Yeah? Your mind is focused really on one point. Whatever it looks at, it is just like a laser beam. It cuts through everything. That's actually, if you really want to do fruitful investigation, you can do that after that. Then you pierce through everything. And then the mind is completely objective. Doesn't mind anything. That's Appana Samadhi. Investigation, we investigate the things that we think we are. Who are you? The body. Feeling, memories, thoughts, and consciousness. And the strongest thing that we are attached to is, of course, this body. Yeah? We love this body. Yeah? So we might hate it sometimes, yeah? Especially when it gets old and breaks down, yeah? Or gets ill. Yeah? We might hate it. Yeah? And when we really get really sick, yeah, we always have the thought, I'm going to die, I'm going to die, I'm going to die. 3 days later, we are healthy again, and where's the thought of dying? Gone. It always happens like that. Yeah? When you really feel sick, yeah, you always think, I'm going to die. Yeah? Then 5 minutes later or 5 days later, you're completely healthy again, everything, works like fine, and then this thought has completely disappeared. Huh? Well, the body dies. Yeah? So we investigate the body. Yeah? The first object of investigation, yeah, probably when we do samatha, is pain. Yeah? The feeling of pain. What is pain? Where is the pain? Yeah? Where does it come from? How does it feel? Is it in the bones? Is it in the skin? Is it in the tendons? Is it in the muscles? Yeah? We all have these things since we are born. Yeah? Why are we only now feeling pain when we start meditating? Huh? When you sit in the chair and watch a movie, you don't feel any pain. Yeah? When you sit in the airplane for 11 hours, you don't feel any pain. Yeah? Why do you only feel pain when you start meditating? Yeah? Oh, the pain is too much. Oh, the pain is too much. Yeah, I can't move. I break my leg. Yeah, have you ever broken your leg when you sit in a 4-hour movie? Huh? But in meditation, you break your leg, you break your back. They come with all sorts of excuses. Yeah, and you believe them. Yeah, get up, and the pain is gone. How can it disappear if it was real pain? Huh? Just disappeared. We got up from meditation, up from our seat, no more pain. Huh? So it's magic, it's a spook. This kind of pain is a spook, but we give in to it all the time. Huh? Oh, it's too much, it's too much, it's too much. We get up, no pain. Then we think that is the cure, the cure for our pain. No. It's not understanding what is pain. Yeah? And learning to understand what is pain is very useful in your daily life. Yeah? Because in the same way you can investigate fear, you can investigate worry, you can investigate anger, you can investigate greed, you can investigate all these feelings. Yeah? Pain is one of the strongest ones. Yeah? And it comes very easily. You just sit for 2 hours and it already is there. Yeah? If you can't focus on anything, just sit longer, until the pain comes, and I guarantee you can focus very easily. There's only one point of focus. And sometimes you really wish for it to come. Yeah? Because your focus is all over the place. Yeah? But pain, instantly you go onto this one spot. Yeah? So pain is your helper, it's not your enemy. Yeah? Think about it like that. The first thing that we do with feelings when we investigate feelings, is embrace the feelings, accept the feelings. Yeah? The moment we want it to disappear, that's not investigation. Yeah? We embrace it, say, okay, yeah? And feel it all through the body. Yeah? Whatever it is. If it is fear, if it is anger, we take our whole body, in attention, in awareness, and feel it, everywhere, in every part of the body. Yeah? And then we look, where's the pain? Is it in the right knee? Then we look at the right knee. Then we focus on that. Is it in the skin? Is it in the flesh? Is it in the tendons? Is it in the bones? Before that, there was no pain. Now suddenly it seems to be there. And we focus, we investigate, we focus anymore. Until we are nearly close, to understanding what is pain is, and then it shifts to the other knee, or to the back, or to the head, or to the neck, or to the shoulders, And then we follow it up there, until it shows where it comes from. And then we know, if it shifts the first time, then in the right knee, where it was all the time for half an hour, extremely painful, it goes to the left knee, and when we look at the right knee, there's no pain at all. Then we see it's a spook, it's magic. Yeah? It has been created by something. Yeah? And we fall for these creations. Yeah? That's what pain is. Yeah? We're falling for the creation of the kilesas that causes this pain. Yeah? And it seems so real, it seems so real, it seems so real. Yeah? We can't go for that seeming so real. Yeah? It's a delusion. Yeah? So we follow it up until it shows where it comes from. Once it shows us where it comes from, then that is the first stage of pain investigation. Then we understand it. And the next time we are not driven by pain anymore. And then we can do other kinds of investigation of other feelings. Yeah? But we learn it with pain. Yeah? Pain is the most stable object. Yeah? And also when we do pain investigation, we keep our attention on the breath. Yeah? But we ask the questions. Yeah? Where is the pain? What is pain? Is it point-wise? Is it moving? Yeah? Is it changing? Yeah? And then you see the pain is constantly changing. Yeah? I mean, everything in this universe has to change. Yeah? It becomes stronger, then it becomes weaker, then it becomes stronger again, then it weaker again. So it's constantly changing. Yeah? It's never constant. Yeah? We think if something holds on, it's constant. Yeah? We think, if you're sad, it's constant. Yeah? We think if you are depressed, it's constant. Yeah? We think if you are in a bad mood, it's constant. Yeah? We think when we are ill, it's constant. No, it's all changing. Yeah? And we know that through our experience, we should know that. Yeah? So that's how we investigate pain. Yeah? And then we can investigate other feelings that trouble us during the day or during our meditation. So that is the only investigation that is allowed. Pain is the only investigation that is allowed during samatha practice, during practice of Buddha or of the breath. Yeah? And then we start with the investigation of the body. Yeah? Body and bodily feelings. Yeah? And then we go with the body, and then with the body, and then with the body. It will take years or decades, yeah, to investigate this body. I mean, I explained it yesterday how to investigate it. Yeah? People who weren't here can listen to the talk. Yeah? How to investigate the body properly. To understand the nature of the body. Yeah? To understand, yeah, that whatever goes off the body, we find disgusting. Whatever goes into the body, we find pleasant. Huh? Why is that so? Why? Huh? The hair that comes off the body, when we wash it, we think it is nice, we look in the mirror, we comb it, yeah. Then we wash it, it falls into the drainage, mixed together with the soap, yeah, and then we find it disgusting. Huh? Why? It just was on our body, and we find it beautiful. The moment it gets off the body, we find it disgusting. That's the first thing that you can investigate about the body. Yeah? You can investigate birth and death, illness, sickness, old age. Yeah? Some of us have a lot of experience with old age. I mean, they really don't like their body anymore, but that is still attachment. Not liking something is attachment. Liking something is attachment. Huh? You understand that? To dislike the body is attachment. To like the body is attachment. Yeah? You have to be neutral to get rid of the attachment to the body. Yeah? So you have to understand. Yeah? You have to understand why we think this body is beautiful. Yeah? We just like the skin. We don't like what is underneath the skin. Take your skin off, look in the mirror and see, do you still like yourself? You think yourself, you're beautiful, you want to hug yourself, yeah? Or touch yourself all up, huh? If you have no skin? Well, then just take the skin, and fill it up with some bird feathers, and look at it. I mean, hunters, sometimes when you go, to a hunter's house, they stuffed out the animals, yeah? So we could stuff out our skin if we like it so much, yeah? If you don't like the inside, what comes out of the body, then just take the skin and stuff it, yeah? And then we have a stuffed human being, not a stuffed animal, but a stuffed human being. Yeah? But there's little that we can do. Is that what we like, the skin? Yeah? And then look at the skin, look, yeah? Take a magnifying glass. Yeah? You can do that anytime. A real magnifying glass, and look at the skin. And then you see the pores of it, they're really ugly, yeah? The skin becomes really ugly, yeah? And then take the skin off, turn it around, and see what is underneath the skin. Yeah? All this grease, yeah? These bubbles, these yellow bubbles of grease, yeah, and that we call fat, yeah? Is that what you like? Huh? But that's the nature of this body, that we so much adore, yeah? That we house, that we clothe, that we look so much after. That's the nature of this body. Yeah? And that is about body investigation. Once you're finished with the body investigation, there's nothing left. You will not be reborn again. Yeah? That's the end of the matter. Yeah? Then you just have to deal with delusion. You have to investigate sanya sankhara, that means thought and memories. Yeah? And then you finish up with delusion, yeah? And then you fight with the master of this universe, avijja. Once that is gone, you're free forever. Now, as a human being, or when you die. So, you can ask questions. But that should be understood, it is controlling the citta to do whatever we want to do it, yeah? And that is tough work, yeah? There's no work in the whole world, that is tougher than controlling the citta. Because it doesn't want to be controlled. Yeah? It wants to control us, yeah? So we have to learn it, we have to force it. Yeah? But don't misunderstand this forcing, yeah? You don't have to force your breath on, you don't have to force your attention on the one point here. Yeah? Now, forcing means, the moment the citta runs off, you bring it back. That's where you need the force. Yeah? If it stays there, it's fine. Yeah? You just leave it there. Yeah? The moment it runs out, and wants to think about this, wants to memorize that, wants to imagine this, then you force it back. Yeah? And you will see, after a while, you need a lot of force. Because it's just this thought. I just want to think this thought. Just this important, yeah? Just this memory. That was a nice memory. Yeah? Now, then, the moment you're aware it is out in memories or out in thoughts, then you force it back. That's where you need the force, yeah? Don't misunderstand it. If you try to force it on this one point, all what you get is headache. Huh? That's not the way. Yeah? As long as the attention is on the point or on the Buddha, yeah, leave it there. Yeah? You only force it back when it goes out. Yeah? When it sneaks out, and it sneaks out all the time. Yeah? Understood? Yeah? Don't ask me next year. Yeah.
Sometimes in life we are faced with sometimes faced with more stress and problems. So during that time we have a lot of thoughts all coming in.
Yeah.
At that time we find it very difficult to bring back the
Yeah.
concentrate. So if we sit and concentrate, sometimes we get a very heavy.
Yeah, because yes,
So
that's exactly.
we just let go first and take a break off.
No. Then softly pull it back. Yeah? Or do Buddha.
Is it then or?
Yeah. Huh? There, if it wants to run out, you cannot allow it to run around. Yeah? You cannot allow it to run wild. Yeah? Then use Buddha. Yeah? Until it stops, yeah? If you think Buddha, you cannot think anything else, yeah? And then once it calms, then you go to your breath, yeah? Yeah? Use the Buddha, if you have a lot, yeah? I mean, there are two things that you can do, if there are lots of thoughts coming in, yeah? There's walking meditation, yeah? Walk very fast, up and down, nearly running but not running, yeah? So let the chitta control the body and the rest of the chitta you control with the breath or with the Buddha, yeah? Once it calms down then go and sit, yeah? And you will see you have less thoughts. You understand that? But you can't let it run. No matter what, yeah? I mean, if you use too much force, yes, you can headache, yeah? Then slowly, then softly put it back, yeah? Okay, let's go back, yeah? Just say it. Okay, let's just go back. Okay, let's just go back. Okay, let's just go back, yeah? Until it goes away. But you can't let it run wild. That's exactly what I was talking about. Today, this moment, it is not good, let's try it later, yeah? Then they will grab you with that, yeah? Then whenever you really want to meditate, they bring in all these thoughts, yeah?
Ajahn, just now you mentioned that if we have difficulty in sitting and meditating, we have to do walking meditation. But all along, in sitting and walking meditation, actually, when you walk, we focus on the person or we focus on the...
No, we should focus, the best thing, yeah? The best thing is, to focus always on the same point, yeah? No matter what you do. If you're cycling, if you're walking through the streets, if you do walking meditation, if you do sitting meditation, always. Because the chitta automatically will, sooner or later, return to the same object, yeah? Once it doesn't have to do anything. If you constantly use different points, yeah? The chitta doesn't know where to go when it rests, yeah? So I always use the focus of, at the tip of the nose, yeah? And then, if I was waiting for the bus, whoops, automatically went there. And I was calm, yeah? When I had nothing to do, it automatically went there. But in the beginning, you really have to tell it, this is the point of rest. Yeah? So if you do walking meditation, you stick to the breath at the tip of the nose. If you do sitting meditation, you stick to the breath at the tip of the nose, and so on. Yeah? Always the same thing. I tried them later when I came to Dhammatalk with the Buddha, and they just work the same thing. Yeah? You just repeat Buddha, Buddha, Buddha mentally all the time, and then whenever you walk, whenever you do something, that doesn't require thinking, you automatically fall back on Buddha. Yeah? And then the chitta doesn't get wild anymore. Yeah? Even if you had to think about something, it comes very, very fast, it calms down very fast. But remember that, don't do that. Don't pick too many points. Okay?
When investigating the pain, how long should we do it until we can bear it more?
Yes, investigating pain is just like, going into the boxing ring with the champion. Yeah? In the beginning you investigated for 5 minutes, then 6 minutes, then 7 minutes, then 10 minutes, then half an hour, then an hour. Yeah? So you step it up each time. Yeah? And each time you say, each time you give in to the pain, you say, okay, white flag, I retreat, but next time I do it 1 minute longer. Understand that? You can't do that in the beginning, it is impossible, you'll give up very soon. Yeah? But don't shift. Yeah? Just look at the pain. Yeah?
When there's pain while we are sitting, can you just slightly relax the body and the pain?
Yeah, sure. That is always, you always can relax the body. Yeah? But you should not shift, you should not physically shift, yeah? But you close your eyes, and you put your attention on the whole body and say, relax. Yeah?
Can I do something like this? My body's
Does it help?
Yes.
How long? I mean, check it out. If it holds, if it holds for another hour, then it's fine. But normally, if you start to shift it or move the body around, 5 minutes later you're gone. You get up. Because we start shifting it one time, then we start shifting it another time, then we start shifting it the third time, and then we are up. So be careful, observe it. If it does help, moving around like this, that's fine. But watch it. My experience tells me, 5 minutes later you're up and running. You're out of your meditation. Because you have to actually concentrate on shifting. So you're not with your object. So that disturbs. The moment you come back, other thoughts are coming in, and then you're thrown off the path. So try it out. It is something that you have to experience for yourself to see. I did all this, and I said, it's useless. 5 minutes later, the moment I shift the first time, 5 minutes later I'm up and running, so I'm just sit through it. Okay, understood? But relaxing is always, it's always okay. Just look at it, feel the whole body, relax. And then you relax it. But that is not the pain, the pain is not in the muscles, the pain is not in the tendons, It's not in a stiff body, Only if you force it too much, the stiff body, can cause pain. But that is pain, even if you get up, you will feel. It's not the pain I was talking about. The pain caused by the reason. Okay? Lots of people, most of the people don't even have the ability to go into jhanas. So why to explain, about the jhanas? Some people who have the ability from previous lives, the moment they enter Upachara Samadhi, automatically go into the jhanas, because that is just the same thing. Upachara Samadhi is for the normal people who never train jhanas, and it's the same kind of concentration. So people will automatically go into one of these jhanas. And then these people should ask, what to do next. But if you don't go, I don't worry about it. And most of the explanations I heard, from Western monks or from other monks about the jhanas are all wrong. That's more imagination than real jhanas. Of course I can imagine any kind of feeling. There are some feelings when the mind gets calm, You understand? There are feelings coming up when the mind gets calm, So, what they think is, they go to one of these feelings and then they think it's the jhanas. No, jhana is an absorption. It is deeper, it is a little bit deeper than the Upachara Samadhi. And you can stay longer because, you have a nice object. But there's nothing, it's just nothing that we need. People only want jhanas because, they read about, in the suttas, they can get supernatural powers. If you really want to learn the jhanas, it takes you 18 years of solitary retreat. 18 years. Within these 18 years you can get free of everything. If you do solitary retreat. It's a useless thing. If the people from previous life have the ability, then they automatically, they don't go into Upachara Samadhi, they automatically go into the jhanas. And then these people you can teach how to get on. But if the people don't have the ability, don't worry about it. At least you get calm, you get happy, and you get contented, just the same way. But you still stay focused on this. Understood? And in the description, how to get into the jhanas that I sometimes read, they're hilarious. These are all people, who have trained it before, and really don't know how to get there. And then they think, and then they imagine, don't worry too much about it, just be happy with the Upachara Samadhi. It's completely satisfying. You have no wish, you have no desire in there. And it is much easier to reach. Yeah? Or do you want to go 18 years in solitary retreat somewhere in a cave, and just stare, at these casinas, these color boards, until you can, Yeah, everybody reads about it, in the sutras, and in the end is the first jhana, second jhana, third jhana. Yeah, at the time of the Lord Buddha, it was very common. Just look at your smartphones and then you understand why it's not common anymore. Look at all the entertainment that we have. We can't even concentrate for 2 minutes on anything. How can you reach a jhanas? It's an absorption. It's impossible. In this day and age, with this kind of entertainment that especially lay people have, forget about it. It's hard enough to get into Upachara Samadhi. Now thinking and dreaming about the jhanas, forget about it. If you have the ability, you will enter on your own. If you don't have the ability, don't worry about it. It's not necessary for going the path out of the strongly, I find it in the English literature. In the Thai literature, there's hardly anything to read about the jhanas. And they are masters. Why do you think they don't talk about it? And why do you think all the Westerners dream about it? They always dream about something they can't reach. Or think it is nice. Live with the reality, do what you can do. If you're an engineer and want to become a doctor, it's just very difficult. So stick with what you can do. And you can do trained chitta, just return to one point. And then you will get calm. I always say about, meditation is digging a hole. If you take a shovel and dig at the same place, the result will be a hole. But if you think, there's the big stone, let's try another point, and then dig there, and then it's too difficult there, then you dig there, you'll never get a hole. Or you start all over, the place. That is meditation. If you stick to the same point, the result of the meditation is getting a hole. It's a byproduct. The work is to stay focused at this one point, no matter if it is difficult or easy. And the longer you can stay, the deeper the hole is. Or the deeper the calm is, or whatever. Okay, understood? Understood? Don't worry about the jhanas. Yeah, because people talking about something, they really don't understand. I met one teacher, I had one teacher, who knew the jhanas, but she didn't know how to get in there, but she knew how to navigate within them. She could teach about this, but how to really get it, because it was coming from her previous life, she forgot about how to train it. But she could tell you how to navigate within it. So, any more questions? Yeah?
Can you explain about the heart?
The heart. Well, I mean, each one of us have a different notation about what the heart is. Yeah? I mean, of course, yes, there's a physical heart. I mean, we all have a clear understanding about that. But there's also what we normally, when we use heart, yeah, in our language, it is mostly the emotional part. Yeah? But when I use heart, I mean, it's a synonym for the chitta. Yeah? And heart, the emotional part, yeah, that we normally use in our language, is one of the aspects of the chitta. Yeah? I try not to use chitta too much because people, don't really understand what is meant. Yeah? I mean, heart is a very good, it is a very good approximation. But we have to understand that heart is not only the emotional part of the chitta, it is also the rational part of the chitta, it is also the anger part of the chitta, it's also the greedy part of the chitta. Yeah? That's all heart. Yeah? Everything is within the heart. Everything starts from the heart. Yeah? Our intention starts from the heart. Greed starts from the heart. Anger starts from the heart. Delusion starts from the heart. All your characteristics, the way how you define yourself, is all aspects of this heart. Yeah? Okay? So if you say chitta, it is more clearer, yeah? But people, people will not easily understand. And the chitta is actually located to the physical heart. It is in the center of the chest, and it is very close to the physical heart. I mean, you can feel it sometimes in meditation. You can feel it like a point. Yeah? And from there on, it moves the heart. And through the movement of the heart, the brain works, yeah? The brain gets to work, yeah? And then the whole body works. Yeah? Just like you use accelerator gears, yeah? In your car. Yeah? If you start the engine, then things start to work. Yeah? And the engine is really the physical heart. Yeah? Then you can start to move the body. Yeah? If the physical heart doesn't work, yeah? or stops or is calm, then nothing works. Yeah? No senses work, nothing works. Yeah? The brain doesn't work. Yeah? And that's when you actually reach Apanasamadhi, when everything stays still. Yeah? I mean, 200 or 300 years they buried these people because they thought they are dead. And then 7 days later they came out of the state, and they were under the earth, yeah? Tried to get out of the grave, yeah? Some of them, they were not buried yet, they went out of their carcass, yeah? And everybody was shocked. Because people really thought they were dead. And then, when they come back, and then they start the engine just like you start the engine in your car, boom, 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 everything works again, and then they can go on. Yeah? Okay? Yeah.
Sometimes doing meditation, one has this sharp pain that appears for just a few moments.
Yeah.
And disappears by itself.
Yeah, it appears in the face or where?
In the legs.
In the leg, yeah. Don't put. I mean, that's what I tried to say yesterday. I mean, if you do meditation, so many things appear. Yeah? Feelings appear here, we notice the body here, we notice the body there. But in meditation, really, whenever there is something, any kind of phenomena, sharp pain here, sharp pain there, yeah? And when we go back to the Buddha, or we go back to the tip of the nose. Don't be interested. If it is long, I mean, if you only can investigate pain, if it becomes disturbing, if you cannot concentrate anymore on the breath, yeah? If you constantly distracts you, this is something where you have to decide, when it is like that. Yeah? I mean, if you go too early to the pain, the pain just disappears, and it becomes a distraction. Yeah? Then you go back to the breath, and the pain appears again, then you go back to the pain, and you never get calm. Yeah? I mean, the pain really has to be very prominent, yeah? And it has to be so prominent that you really you cannot focus on the breath anymore. Yeah? And then you can start investigating the pain, okay?
Actually, I asked not because to investigate, I was a bit afraid of the sharp pain.
Yeah, I mean, so many things happen. Yeah? Well, sometimes I have a sharp pain in the neck, yeah? Or itch, you know, I mean that is really sharp pain. Don't worry about it. Welcome to know your body. Yeah? We have a body that's constantly moving, that's constantly, you know, shifting there, you know, constantly having feelings, you know, constantly sense impressions. Yeah? I mean, there's thousands of sense impressions within a moment. Yeah? I mean, you can't really get hold of all of it. Yeah? That's why I say, welcome to the body. Yeah? The body experience. Yeah? And sometimes it's sharp pain, sometimes it's just, you know, a feeling. Yeah? When you do breath meditation, sometimes you feel, you know, I mean, we know that we breathe through the skin. You can actually feel it, that you breathe through the skin. Don't worry about it, just a little bit. Or just a little bit at the tip of the nose. You feel so many things, yeah? You will welcome to the world of this body. Yeah? It's a living thing. That's why I call it a biological robot. Yeah? It's a living thing. It has its own momentum. Yeah? But we are never aware of it, yeah? Unless we get really sick, yeah? Or it doesn't work anymore the way it used to. Then we suddenly get aware that we have a body. Yeah? Meditators instantly get aware the moment they try to start to concentrate on the breath. This is, that is. That's why I say, welcome to the world of the body. Yeah? Okay? Yeah?
Heavens and hells have physical location or it's more state? It's also state.
No, it's not a state of mind. It's really a physical location, yeah? But you can't really depict it. Yeah? I mean, it's not a physical location like this planet, but you know, there are realms, yeah? where there is this existence of heaven. I mean, some of the devas that are above us, they have a physical location, and that is the same physical location as we have. Yeah? They are called the Ruka devas or the tree devas. They have a physical location here in the forest. Yeah, it is the same dimension. It's the universe, you know, it's the same dimension. Yeah? They don't have a separate space. Yeah? But we can't see them. Yeah? Some of them are around us, yeah. Probably not around you, yeah, but around some of the good monks, yeah, some of the people who smell nice, yeah. And these are called the Ruka devas. The others live in higher realms, you know, they are not so much, you know. Others come from far away, yeah. I don't know where they live, I never asked that, and it really doesn't matter, yeah? But they are really beings, yeah. And within the blink of an eye, you know, they can move, you know, millions of kilometers. Yeah? They don't have this body. They wish to be there and they are there. Wow. Yeah? But they still, you know, the Ruka devas, yeah? I mean, you read it in the story of Lumpur Man, the biography of Lumpur Man, yeah? I mean, the devas from Germany who came visiting Lumpur Man, yeah? And then he asked them, how did you get there? Yeah, we just wish to be here. And we have friends here in Thailand, yeah?
So
And they came to see him.
Deva,
Yeah, devas.
they have races.
Yeah, I mean, yes. I mean, they live in a geographical location. I mean, the Ruka devas.
Yeah.
Not the other ones, not the higher ones. Tauratimsa is some, you know, it is further away.
Yeah, I mean, Deva in the center realm.
Yeah, the devas that live in the South realm are sweet. Yeah?
Do they have
Just like the ghosts that live in the South realm are sweet.
Do they have different races as well, like Chinese?
No. No, but they live in China. Some live in China because they love it there. They love the forest there. Yeah, some live in Russia. Some live in Germany. Because they like it there. I mean, they still have their likes and dislikes. Yeah. They're just one realm above us. Yeah? You talk to them, then you will know. Ask them questions. You won't ask me.
Ajahn, you mentioned the other day that 100 ghost realms, they are not able to receive merits.
Some of the ghost realms, yes. The hungry ghost realm is not able to receive merit. But the normal ghost realm, yes.
Any particular reason why?
They are too angry. They are too greedy. That's it. But it doesn't matter, the moment they leave that realm, and come into another realm, then they can receive the merit. They said, in the moment, sometimes we're in a place where we cannot use our ATM card, right? Because there's no ATM machine. So we cannot receive the money. The moment we are in a place where there is an ATM machine, we can put our card in there and receive money. Why make it so complicated if it's simple? And it's the same thing with merit. And now, of course, beings in hell, it is impossible to receive merit. Yeah? But the merit is stored in the bank account. Yeah? So the moment they are at the place where there is an ATM, then they can withdraw that merit. Yeah? Now, if you look at hungry ghosts, you understand why they can't receive merit. Ghosts are normally, just like us. Have families, are farmers, have towns, are workmen, just like us. Just live in a different realm, and they cannot construct these things that we can construct. So they always envy us. Because their construction don't hold as long as our constructions. But just go and visit yourself, Lupo Man visited all these places, that's why I know a lot of things about it, he visited the ghost realms, and he was amazed, He was amazed, they have towns, they have, within the towns they even have prisons, for the hooligan ghosts, and so on. So it's just the same, it's this human life. And they move with their families, with their animals and so on, they don't move from one place. We were sitting somewhere in meditation and then we saw them moving and we said, hey, where are you going? Huh? Do you see us? Yes, very much. Because normal people don't see them. They live under us, we just don't see them. Just like some neighbors, in remote places, they live with us. Just because we don't see them doesn't mean they don't exist. You believe 200 years or 300 years ago, nearly everybody believed in these. The ghosts and the devas. Fairies, we call them fairies. In all our tales, all the fairies, what are fairies? Are these beings. And now we suddenly, science tells us whatever we don't see doesn't exist. So we're blinded, we're completely blinded by our belief in science. If that would be true, you studied microengineering, you don't see electricity, but it still exists, does it? You don't see magnetic fields, but it still exists. But we say, these beings don't exist, because we can't see them. Can't prove that they are there. We don't have the right methods to prove that they are. Lots of people, or a few people, especially in Thailand, they can see them and talk to them. And people here, I don't know why they're afraid of ghosts. Lots of people here are also afraid of ghosts. Why? They're just beings, You should be more afraid of people. Really. They are worse than ghosts. Most of the ghosts have no intention of harming us, except for the ones who became a ghost because you killed them. So you should be aware of these, all the dead bodies, in your cell. So no, ghosts have no intention of harming us. They live in their world, we live in our world. We should be more afraid of people. They're worse. Just say hello. If you see one. And share the merit with them. They love it. These ghosts, these come, wherever a monk is, that's where they gather, they want, all what they want is merit, Just like dogs come, stray dogs come. They want, to touch them, to crawl them, and then once they have enough, they go. Just the same as ghosts, They come, receive their merit, and then they go. Or the metta, They love it. Devas the same way. They come, to get some metta. I don't know why they come. Never asked them.
I have a question. Besides sharing merits with the ghost, do we practice offering food to them?
No?
No.
I mean, that is the worst thing that you can do. I mean, if you offer food, that is for human beings, to the ghosts, they see it, all the spittle comes out because they want to eat it, but they can't touch it. You will make them very angry. No, you share the merit, the merit of your own doing, you share with them. Address it. I mean, was I doing, metta meditation or something like that, So, listen to it, and then you know how to share the merit or or how to invite them, to take part in the matter of your heart, That's how you do it. You don't know food,
Because of our Chinese culture and our tradition, we offer.
I know.
And the country Roots Festival, we celebrate it for about half a month. We offer the food.
Yes, I know. And who eats the food? The dogs and the ants. Isn't it? I mean, I understand this tradition, And I was in Chiang Rai, it's a province in Thailand, and it's in the north, probably close to China. That's why they still have the tradition. I mean, the monks got rice and a little bit of vegetables, and all the ghosts got all the meat. And we can't take it.
I think we offer because it's based on fear.
And that's not a good thing.
They will create any hope or they will come and disturb the peace of the
I understand your tradition, But if there is no sense in it. Doesn't make any sense of it. If you want to offer the ghosts really something, then share with them the merit of your practice.
You should go to the roadside at night and
What? I didn't understand what you said.
No, this instead of offering, usually we do it at night, when
I know.
outside. So instead of offering that, we go to the roadside. No, just.
It's who eats it. And the ghosts, feel sorry. You really offend them because they would love to eat it, but they can't. If they want to touch it, they can't. Because their hands are not material like our hands are. And they can't even swallow it, But there is special food, that the ghosts eat, but I don't know how about this there.
What about the Tibetan tradition? We like articles and then offering some rice and water to the soul.
I mean, rice, that's wrong, but water, if it is holy water, that does make some sense, But what makes what makes more sense, yeah? I mean, if you understand, the realms and the beings that are living in the realm, yeah? I mean, if you understand more, it is sharing the merit of generous people, yeah? I mean, Lungta Mahabua, you probably heard of the River Kwai, yeah? This big battle, where thousands of soldiers of both sides, died, yeah? Died a very sudden death, yeah? And they're still, after 50 years, they were still hanging around. Because they didn't know that they were dead, they were still fighting as ghosts there. So Lungta Mahabua, another Arahant, came there and made, and invited the lay people to make lots of offering for these beings, yeah, so that they could be released. Yeah? That's how you do it. Yeah? They made offerings to the monks, and the merit of these offerings were given to these ghosts, yeah, so that they could go into the next life. That's how you do it. Yeah? But you have to understand these realms, you have to understand this being, you have to understand how karma works. Yeah? Just placing a nice bowl of nice food, in front of them, and are they even there? Do you know if they're there? Where do you place the food? You don't even know if they are there. Yeah? You just assume that they are there. You don't see them, if you see them, then you can ask the next time what you need. Yeah? And they say, certainly not this kind of food that you eat. Yeah? You need some special food.
Most of my friends, they travel for business trips frequently and they stay in hotels. So they tell me their encounters like the bed shaking, knocking.
Yeah?
So like when they're there, what is the first thing that people should do when they enter a hotel room? I mean, which are the episode and then transfer merits on?
Spread metta. Yeah? Invite, first of all, yeah, I mean, if you're in this room, then if you know that there are some ghosts there, who think it is their room, yeah, that's why they do all this shaking and things like that, and say, please, yeah, I want to come, for 1 night or 10 nights, and stay in this room. Please give me your allowance to stay here, yeah? And then you share the metta, kindness with them. Yeah? May you take part in the kindness of my heart. Yeah? And then normally they are peace, yeah, except there are always some hooligans, yeah. You never be able to appease them, yeah. Just like in our society, there are hooligans, you can't appease them, whatever you do, yeah? But most of them, it will stop, yeah? But of course they should have, this kindness in their heart, that they can share. But the first thing is, it is especially important, for monks who travel from cave to cave. Each time you come to a cave, you ask for permission to stay there. You say, I don't want to intrude your place, I just want to stay here and practice meditation. Or, I will stay in this hotel, for resting my body. Please become so kind and accept me. And then they are already at peace, most of them. Okay?
I just want to ask, as a monk in Thailand, do you use any sutra?
Any what?
Sutra.
Why should I use sutras? I've got already the teaching from the masters.
You don't use it. Just use the meditation.
Of course you can. I said, one time one woman was asking about chanting. Yeah? If you like chanting, do chanting, that is sutta chanting. Yeah? If you like meditation, do meditation. Yeah? That's completely up to you. If you can focus, concentrate easily, do chanting. And then do the sutta chanting. Yes, of course, in the beginning, to first people, you start meditation, they have to learn, the teachings of the Lord Buddha. That's where they have to learn it. Yeah? That's where the value of it is. Yeah? First of all, you get familiar with the teachings of the Lord Buddha. Once you understand the teaching of the Lord Buddha, then you don't need it anymore, then you need to do practice.
Just practice for meditation.
Yeah, practice of meditation.
And the spa, and the spa.
Yeah, sure. Sila Samadhi Dhamma. And not forgetting generosity, respect and gratitude. Lots of people forget that. And it's also important on this part.
Thank you, Ajahn.
If you don't have enough generosity, you can't stay, for instance, in the monastery for a long time. If you don't have respect for the Dhamma, we will not be able to find the right teacher. If we are not grateful for the things given, we cannot experience deeper states of meditation. Okay? So, you want to ask for forgiveness? Okay. Do it in English, yeah?
Yes.
What?
Need already sing for him.
Who?
Sing, he went to the toilet and we did it for him.
Okay. But why don't you do it all together? Do it in English, not in Pali. Yeah? She talks before and then you talk after her. Yeah. Or both of you. You should know both of you. Yeah? You should know it. Yeah?
Ajahn, he would like to sincerely ask for forgiveness. We would like to sincerely ask for forgiveness. If we have intentionally or unintentionally, done anything wrong through our thoughts, speech, or actions, towards Ajahn, may our sincere request for forgiveness be accepted by Ajahn.
I forgive you and you have to forgive me.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
No, you have to say, I forgive you. I forgive you and you have to forgive me. No, I have to say that. We forgive you is your answer. Okay, and then you can say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.